Today, the stakes shot up in the worst war in the world. Russia joined the fighting in Syria. Now, Russian and American planes are on opposite sides. Let us remind you how we got here. Syria is run by the dictator Bashar al-Assad. 4 years ago, rebels rose up against him. Now, 250,000 have died. 12 million have fled. The chaos has spawned the refugee crisis in Europe and the ISIS terrorist regime, which now holds a third of Syria and Iraq. The U.S. is bombing ISIS. David Martin tells us who Russia is fighting for.
The Pentagon counted 8 Russian aircraft attacking 2 areas in western Syria, well away from where U.S. aircraft normally operate, but also well away from territory controlled by ISIS. The targets, which Russia said were weapons, ammunition, and other military equipment belonging to terrorists, were in areas controlled by groups fighting to overthrow the regime of Bashar al-Assad. In other words, Russia is not joining the U.S. in the fight against ISIS, but instead intervening on the side of Assad, a brutal dictator President Obama has repeatedly said must go. Defense Secretary Carter said it amounts to throwing gasoline on a fire.
The result of this kind of action will inevitably simply be to inflame the civil war in Syria.
Carter was also miffed by the way Russia notified the U.S. of the strikes. 1 hour ahead of time, a Russian general walked up to the U.S. embassy in Baghdad and announced Russian aircraft were about to begin flying over Syria and American warplanes should stay away.
This is not the kind of behavior that we should expect professionally.
The U.S. did not change its flight plans, but the two sides have begun talks on setting up procedures for making sure their planes don't run into each other. That was not a problem today, but could become one if the Russian aircraft attack opposition groups supported by the U.S. Scott, now that the Russian strikes have begun, both sides are in a hurry to get those talks moving, and it could happen as soon as tomorrow with a video conference between the two militaries.
David Martin at the Pentagon, thanks.